Good morning. Oh, I've been up since about 2. It's 3:30 now. I'm reading the rest of this commentary on Samson and Delilah. Well, the part where he gets to Delilah. And it says observe 1 how she teased him, telling him she would not believe he loved her unless he would gratify her in this matter. In verse 15, where she says to him, and she said to Samson, how can you say I love you? How can you say that you love me when your heart is not with me? She says, your heart is not with me. She pulls on his weakness. You've mocked me these 3 times, and you haven't told me where your strength lies. I think he knew all along that she was going to betray him. 1, because his first wife did. His Tamara betrayed him with her family. And here it says that he went into a harlot, and it doesn't mention her name, but it gets the enemy's attention. And then it says then went Samson to Gaza and saw there a harlot and went into her. And it moves on from her. And then it says, and as it came to pass after that, he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. So he fell in love with this woman in a very beautiful place. If you look up where the valley of Sorek is, it says the lords of the Philistines, so the enemies, like Satan's head principalities, came to her and said to her, entice him and see where his great strength lies, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him. See, Samson was slaughtering the Philistines. He was one man. He was killing the Philistines. I mean, I look at this story and relate to it as God has allowed me to preach his word. He's allowed me to teach his word. And he's allowed me to preach freedom to the captives, as Jesus says, or Paul says. I prayed for this 30 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. And that is carrying this light, watching people be freed from the grips of Satan, slavery, watching people getting pulled out of Egypt, so to speak. It's been my job. Whatever I did for money and this and that was secondary. This is what I do. I prayed and I asked God, I only want to work for you. It's the only way I'm going to stay on this earth. And if I can't work for you, take me away from here. That was my prayer. I've shared that with many people. I think I've shared that with you. But anyway, that's how I relate to this. Samson, his weakness was women. And definitely women have been my weakness. Lust, really. I've always wanted to be in love, though. Anyway, it says he loved Delilah. And I can tell you right now, it says the lords of the Philistines came to her and said to her, entice him and see where his great strength lie, and by what means we may win against him. And that's what Satan wants to do. He wants to win against me. He wants to stop me from keeping my light lit every day. That's the first thing that the devil, Satan, his minions, his rulers, his demons, whatever you want to call them, that's the first thing they want to do, is they want to put out my light. And they can't, because that's the light of God.